Boy, did I screw this up. Something happened. I think it had to do with the thunder. Let me get my friends on. Anthony, Eddie, Joe, Anthony, and Eddie. Boy, am I screwed up. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, I
Something
hear you.
something happened where I don't know what happened. It just says it can't record. It can't, I don't know. Anyway, I shut it all down and started from the beginning. Anyway, we're on and we're live. Oh boy. Anyways, thunder and lightning here. Maybe my dog screwed it up because he jumped all over me. Anyway, we're on and we're live. Before we start, let me just say this about our friend Jimmy Taggart. Um, I said what I said last week, and I gave out my phone number, and I didn't get a response pertaining to if they're happy with the treatment he's getting, and I hope he is, and I hope it works, and I hope he's going to be okay. But nobody called me about the ivermectin or my doctor, so I guess he's happy with what's with the treatment that he's getting. They did send me this. They're having a golf tournament for him in sponsorship tournament, and I don't know anything about golf, but all the phone numbers are there. I'll leave that up for a couple of minutes in case somebody wants to write it down and help out. Um, there's Greg Merton's phone number there, Bob Merton, and Amy Taggart.
Amy.
So all proceeds will benefit Jim Taggart's fight to beat cancer. Okay, so uh, we helped out Freddie with that thing, which we're going to play later with the tribute to Carmine. So now it'd be nice if I don't know how to play. I don't know how to play golf, but I'll get in touch with the Merton kids and find out what I could do to help. They sent me that, and they sent me this. Like I said, it's $120 per player or $400 per foursome. This includes green fees, golf cart, breakfast, and lunch. I don't know what that means, but you guys that play golf, I'm sure you know what it means. It's Friday, September 26th, and check in at 9 a.m. Shotgun start time 10 a.m., whatever that means. Lunch is at 1 o'clock. Games, raffles, and more. If you don't want to play golf, come hang out and eat for $25. All proceeds will benefit Jim Taggart's fight to beat cancer. Geez, I hope this kid is okay. But like I said, what worked for me, maybe I don't know if it works for everybody, but I said what I said. My phone number is 201-400-3485. If anybody connected to Jimmy wants to pursue the ivermectin and that doctor, I gave you all the information last week. Nobody called me, so I guess you're happy with what you're doing. But if you do want to get in touch with me, 201-400-3485. Good luck. Okay. Somebody sent me this picture. This is when I was racing the freehold, I raced with his father, Sid Mose. This is Jackie
I
Mose.
saw it.
You sent it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's him. I guess he broke a line or something, and that was the Freehold Raceway. He just hopped on his back. I guess that happens to
Yeah.
a lot of us, but some of us try, but don't quite get up there. Uh,
That's
the
not an
other,
easy task.
what's that?
That's not an easy task to do something like that.
No, you gotta be light, and you gotta be, you gotta be
You
able
gotta have a set.
sit. You got to move yourself up from the stirrups onto the bar of the bike, and then just take one big leap, and you wind up on the horse. And here's the other thing that Joey sent me. Now, here's what I've been talking about the whole time. You see,
Sophie ride.
they're doing this ready to take the reins. Kids can hop in the driver's seat with sulky rides at Mohawk Raceway every Saturday
What
this summer,
happened?
presented
You
by
froze. Where am I?
Huh? Are you all right, Eddie? We see you, Ed. Anyway, that's what I've been talking about. That right there. Okay.
That was your idea for a long time. Something similar.
Yeah.
Eddie, are you back on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did you see that my idea? They're doing it at Mohawk. See that?
Yeah. Sulky rides. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
Freddie Hudson sent me that tribute to
Yeah,
Carmine. Man, I
I'm
watched.
gonna I'm gonna play it right now. I'm gonna play
Yeah.
it. I'm
Good.
gonna play it now. It's for some reason it vanished from my thing, but let's see if I can figure out how to get it on. We're gonna play the tribute to Carmine right now, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll talk about a bunch of other things. Let me see if I could figure out how to get this on. Oh, I think this is it here. You guys remember who that was in that picture?
Yeah.
You know who that is? That's Carmine, Anthony, and I think that's his brother Mario.
Matt.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, I
Carmine
remember
Anthony.
when he started. Yeah. picture here. Now, naturally, you all know who it is. That's Del Insco, Carmine Abbatiello, Johnny Chapman. And you
Chapman.
know who that guy is there? At the end is Lucian. Who's the guy next to Lucian? It's Jimmy Tolman.
Yeah, he died.
Jimmy Tolman. When he first came to town, I took him to the Copa. He never been to the Copacabana. And I took him to the Copacabana. And it wasn't long after that he got killed.
He died in the plane crash,
In
didn't
the
he?
plane
Yeah.
crash. Yeah. Yep.
I
I
remember.
worked for him. I was
You
a
worked?
groom for him. Jimmy Tallman, yeah. I started with Jimmy Tallman, then I went to Coco. Yep.
Okay,
Very good.
that was nice.
Very
Freddie
nice.
did a good
Very
job.
nice.
Where he got all them
Very,
pictures, all that. That was nice.
very good.
Yes, very good, Freddie.
Okay, you know what I was thinking? Tell me what you guys think about this. I think because a lot of the drugs, that that whole that whole thing with the drugs and the horses, and that's I think that's just about gone. I think it is. I think it's just about gone without Heisa. Just on its own, it's gone. They put a bunch of guys in jail. They got the vets that were involved, and I think a lot of that is gone. And the tests now are a lot more sophisticated, and I think that's gone. The other thing is, I think Trump brought uh, the tax system back to what it used to be prior to '84, where
The
uh,
write-off.
yeah, the write-offs, where
Yeah,
it could be a good tax shelter,
yeah,
Thank you, Donald.
yeah.
and it and it might be a good time now. It might be a good time now to try to encourage some people out there, maybe to get back into the business, because I got to talk to Freddie about this, because Eddie's already in the thoroughbred business. Anthony's already in the wine business. Joe's already in the ice cream business. I'm busy making my movie. Uh,
You're in show business.
I'm in show business. So, but I think that would might not. I got to talk to Freddie about that. Maybe maybe we could put together. Maybe we could put
Syndicate.
together like a little syndication, and the ones that want to get into the harness horses. Now, here's my opinion. My opinion is, I think an owner today has a better shot with a harness horse, only because they race 30, 35 times a year. They're racing every 7 days. You get a bad post or a bad race or whatever, you come back in 7 days, and the purse money is half of what it is with the thoroughbreds, but you're racing three, four times as many starts. So tell me what all you guys out there. We're gonna go to the comments. So Anthony looks at the comments. Tell me what you guys out there think, because we could put together a nice little syndication, and and I'll talk to Freddie, see if he wants to come back, because he's the youngest one and one that's directly involved. See if Freddie wants to go back into training these things, because Freddie is looking to make a move as soon as these racetracks around here, Yonkers and the Meadowlands, if they do close. Freddie's ready to make the move to Kentucky, where the purses are going to be astronomical, and it's really going to pay to be in the horse business at that point. And then between what Trump is doing with the new tax thing, where the depreciation and that's a big factor, where you could write a lot of this stuff off. I think the whole price of the horse and everything. So I'm
Years ago in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, that was the biggest tax write-off
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of owners got out
they
when
were,
that ended.
they
yeah.
were people were investing. They didn't care if they lost a race or won a race.
no,
They just had 100% write-off, and then it dropped down to like 40%.
40. Yeah, drop down to 40.
Yeah. So now that he's back in, it should be people who are looking to invest into the horse game, because it is a big tax write-off.
Well, now here's what we'll do. Anybody that wants to get involved in either individual ownership, partnership, or be part of a syndication with the Trotters, we're going to talk. I'm going to have Freddie on this Thursday. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it more. That then I'm going to ask him then if he'd be interested in it. And anybody wants to get involved in the thoroughbreds, you talk to Eddie, who's on this show almost every Tuesday. So now we have syndicate. We can form syndications for the thoroughbreds and the standardbreds. So in your comments, even though you know what happens, we got the same 40, 50, 60, 70 people watching every, and then usually, the next day there's another 2, 3, 400, 500. So by this coming Thursday, they will have gotten this message. Just tell me what you think if you'd be interested. Um, I think that would be a good idea. That would help the harness racing industry. And if you want to get involved, you can get involved. We can create. I already have all the paperwork to create the syndications and everything. Freddie would be the trainer, and with the thoroughbreds, Eddie would be the trainer. And I think that might be a good investment now. It would be like a good tax shelter. Like you said, Eddie, in the 70s up until 84, it was the second best tax shelter in the world. I think cattle was the first one. So that might be a good idea. So anybody that's
Well,
interested,
a lot of the wise guys and the crazy money laundering, they were just investing and buying, and
yeah.
they didn't worry about winning, losing. They just had
They
that right
wanted
on.
to spend that money. You remember Courtney
Rather.
Yeah,
Foose? Remember Courtney Foose?
yeah, Courtney. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that guy was a multi-millionaire, and he got in just because of that, and got a big stable of good horses. But when they dropped that tax
yeah,
shelter, he got out. But
Yeah.
that's why he got in it, because he had to put money somewhere.
Well,
yeah.
I
A
think
lot of
that's
big owners.
That's a big plus. That's a big plus.
I think that's coming back. So maybe we should. I tell you, I wish I was younger. If I was younger, I would get back involved.
Let's make harness racing great again.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
make honest racing great again. All right, so you
Hey,
guys in the comments, tell me what you think of that idea. Tell me if you'd be interested. And all you guys that are listening to this after the fact,
For sure, Bruce.
comment on it on other shows, and maybe we'll put something together. And Thursday, when Freddie's on here, we'll talk about it some more, and I'll ask him if he would be interested, because he's the only one that's still involved in the game. And Eddie, I know has his eye on a couple of. In fact, I'm not sure, but I think Eddie has an owner that's interested in buying some young ones. So Freddie's been breaking these standardbreds his whole life and racing them. So that would be a perfect fit for him. So you can start a syndication and put together a bunch of money, buy enough racehorses that could pay the expenses for the young ones before they race. We could set it up nice. And for
then
the third,
Freddie, and that other fella there. What's his name? Anthony, Frank, or what? The guy that comes on the show Thursdays with him,
Michael?
Michael, no, I think he's
Michael.
just a handicapper. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
don't think
he.
he
No.
raced.
What I'm trying to say is he was discussing with Freddie about they were opening up maybe harness racing in Kentucky, and
Oh, the definitely are racing.
wasn't
Yeah.
that, yeah. And I heard that it's going to be big out in Kentucky harness racing because today I was talking to somebody and they were saying that being that Belmont's building this big to do track and all this other garbage, and why are the people going to come here when Kentucky Downs has an 8-day meet? That's all it is. And the maiden special weight goes for 215,000.
Say that
That's
again.
the main.
First of all, you said an 8-day week. What does that mean? What's an
Meat,
And
meat,
on 8 days. That's all. It's an 8-day meet. I said, not
Oh, a
week.
meat, race meat. Okay.
meat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. It's in Kentucky Downs, and their purses are phenomenal. And then from there, they go to Churchill Downs, and then they go to all the tracks in the West Coast. They're not going to come out here. But if harness racing goes out there, the purses will be double what is here at Yonkers and Meadowlands.
Yeah. Well,
And
all right.
that's
So we'll talk about it. We'll see what the folks listening think, and if anybody's interested in being part of a syndication, we could put that together real easy. Make Freddie the trainer, and we can have a combination stable of young horses, 2 year olds, and age race horses, and work it out where the aged horses will pay for the expenses for the 2 year olds till they get to the races, and we could make it happen. That's a good idea. I got to ask Freddie. Freddie will be on Thursday, so we'll talk about it some more on Thursday. Oh, Joe sent me this. Watch this race. Watch this race. These are the hazards that when I said a couple of weeks ago that you gotta have a lot of guts, not only talent and skill and everything. You gotta have a lot of guts because every once in a while, and I know because I gotten about 10 of these in my life, and so did every other driver, including Carmine. Carmine
Oh yeah.
Carmine got in a couple of bad ones. I remember when his whole face was split open. Anyway, watch this. This is the stuff that happens.
Well, you see Johnny Fielder on top with hired gun, and Norm Bradbury came first over, what they call first over. He was first. The police coming on the outside, and the league of John is sitting in the 2-hole right now, and the horses are jamming up as they go by the 3/4 pole.
It's coming up, folks, so don't take your eye off the
Looks like he's
screen.
comfortable, and as you see them, they're all coming up on the back.
Let's hear Jerry Glancey how he described it.
Lanston Yankee comes on 4.
Here it
They've got an
comes.
eighth of a mile of pace. Now they turn for home. Hired gun is down. Also down to Riva John.
Them are the things that happen.
Every one of them went down, except one horse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
one
Jerry
horse.
Presido won that race.
You remember we were talking last week about a guy asked a question about a good trotter and a good pacer, a horse that did both.
Yes, I played that one race.
All right. You know, when I was younger, I couldn't think of the name last week, but I thought of him. Speedy Romeo. He was a Romeo Hanover horse, a chestnut horse. He was a pacer. He was eligible for the New York Sire Stakes, the Monticello New York City OTB Classic, and he also raced the following week in the Open Trot at Yonkers. Speedy Romeo in the late 70s, 76, 77. Speedy Romeo. Billy Houghton had him.
Very good.
So for that guy who asked that question,
Yeah.
Speedy Romeo, that was the best one.
All right. In the meantime, we'll go down this list here. There's Francis. Hi, everyone. Hi, Francis. Jeffrey went to a diner called Tilly's, an old-fashioned diner. The Hasidic Jews are taking over the area. Did you know that? I didn't. I don't know it. Eric just watched interview of Bob Costas, and he admitted he doesn't announce as many games because he refused to do gambling ads during the games. I think his dad was an addicted gambler. Well, to each his own.
Yeah.
Michael, hello, Larry, Anthony, Joe, and Eddie.
Hello.
Hello, Michael.
What's up, Michael?
Nice sportster.
You're a motorcycle guy, huh, Anthony?
Yep, sure am.
Born to be wild.
Well, how'd you know what kind of bike that was?
He's a motorcycle guy.
Yeah. You can tell by the tank, the engine. Looks like a sportster. I can't blow it up to see good.
That's
Larry
a chop.
Cox.
That's a quality chop. That's a panhead. I had a 47 panhead, Anthony. Yeah.
Wow.
I had a
Too bad you didn't have it
1947
today.
Pan Am.
If you had it today,
Huh?
too bad you didn't have it
No,
today.
yeah. I hit a tree doing 60.
Oh God.
I got 170 stitches and my leg was hanging off.
Hey. Did you stop riding
Yep.
after that? Yeah.
No,
No.
nope.
Now look at this, Larry Cox. He says that he texted Mohawk and a couple other tracks, and that's why he gave my idea. I doubt if that's true.
They might have.
Do trainers still use what the hell is that? Diomet. What is
Tenacious and horses feed.
what is that?
That's a stuff that it has to be.
Diometrics.
Yeah, diometrics. It has to be food grade because there is some of it that you can't. It's no good for human consumption.
I
So
never
food.
heard.
I know of people that actually put that in water and drink it.
I never heard of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I use it for bugs around the house.
I put it on my tomato plants and it works great.
Yeah.
Eric, odds manipulation is widespread. Yesterday at Monticello, number 5 had early 2000 in win pool. Race goes off, only 200 to win. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, I could have
I
2,000
mean,
in the win
somebody
pool,
bet
and
the
then when the
horse.
race goes off, only 200 to win.
What happens is somebody bets the horse, makes it
Yeah.
the favorite, and then they cancel the tickets, and that's what they do.
Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
Well, that's the way you do it. They bet a horse, they make him the favorite, so the public sees it, and
Yeah.
their horse that was the favorite, it goes up
And
in
then they bet
price,
on
and
another horse.
yeah.
Okay, Larry.
Hey, that's a Pooch. What are you doing, Pooch?
Well, it's thunder and lightning here. He's scared to death. He's scared. He's
Man,
shaking.
he's big. So,
Yeah, he's like 60 pounds now.
wow.
Eric, you put 100 win bet on any horse at Monticello, you're making him 1-9.
Yep.
Angelique. Oh, Larry, Eddie. Hi.
Hello,
Hello,
hello, hello.
hey, Angelique.
Okay. Forget about a show bet. They really should get rid of show wagering. Well, I guess it's another source of income for the track, but you're right. I mean, could
Well, you
help
got
us.
the bridge jumpers. They like to bet for show.
Mm.
There was really a couple of guys that used to bet 100,000 a show,
Yeah.
and I remember once at the flats, the horse ran out. I think the guy jumped off the bridge or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's what I said. The bridge jumper.
That's why they call them
You
bridge
get a
jumpers.
Yeah, you get a 1-9 shot, and he runs off the board. The horses that win and place and show, they pay phenomenal because they
Uh,
have the whole pool.
I
Eric,
wonder how many you're responsible for that.
Eric meant just what you said, Eddie. That they
Yeah.
bet a lot of money, they make a horse a favorite, and then they cancel the bet the last minute. But if they do
Yeah.
that, the odds would just revert right back. I don't know. Okay, Eric, that's crazy. They should make it where any wager over 500 you cannot cancel at all. Hopefully, someone investigates that.
That's true.
Someone who's playing games up there. What else is new? Was that a Naira? You seen that at the track?
Wow.
To all of you, Sunday night at the Meadowlands had no shoes. To all of you, Saturday night at Meadowlands had no shoes. What
A
is
horse
that?
had no race with no shoes. How common is that?
Is
How
that what that
common is it
means?
for a
To a
horse to
horse?
race with no shoes?
It's not that common, but I did it. I did it many, many times. And there was a horse I had in Monticello that no matter how you what kind of shoe, how you tipped him, no matter what, he would crossfire like crazy. And I just tacked shoes on him during the week, just jogged him during the week, and for the race, I'd right after warm up, I'd pull the shoes off, and he wouldn't hit at all with no shoes.
I had a trotter used to pull her shoes behind before the race,
Yeah,
right in the post parade, right before they went out.
yeah. I would let the horse wear his feet the way they wanted, however they landed. I would never level the foot off. However they wanted to land, that's the way I
Right,
left them.
exactly.
And I would just keep the shoe on so they wouldn't, hit, you know, grind down to the blood because the Stone Dust Racetrack. So I'd keep the shoes on during the week, but I would never level a foot off.
Right,
However
that's
they
exactly
wore
what
it.
I did.
Okay,
When
I'm
you pull
still
the
in
back
shock how
shoes off,
badly run down Monticello is. Oh my God, take a ride up there. Yeah, it's not good. Saturday at the Meadowlands, a horse race with no shoes. How common is that? Oh, that's the same question. It's not that common, but some horses race a lot better.
It
Some,
makes a
like
big
just like Joe
difference
said,
with some
it's
horses.
yeah, it's a big it's something that trotters do a lot. They pull the back shoes off.
Yeah.
is that an equipment change, Joe?
Uh,
Well,
it
good
You
is
question
can't
really.
they
you
You
used
can't
to
do
consider
make
that.
it
shoe equipment.
yeah, they
You
used to
you
make it
can't do
announce
that in
what
the
seats are.
thoroughbred.
Yeah, yeah, they
You
used to
can't
make
do
it
that in
announce.
the thoroughbred.
You can't,
Don't do
You
that,
got
no.
no.
Larry. How many
You
wins do you have as a trainer of harness horses, Manny? That's a question that I can only answer it. I can only answer it one way, and and it, because of what I went through, and because of the lane I took, and because of what I did, I can only answer that question like this: I won the races I had to win, and I lost the races I had to lose. That's the only way I can answer that question. And if
good
you want,
answer.
if you know my life story, or if you read
You
my book,
understand.
or listened to the first 20 or 30 of the podcast, you would understand that answer. I did what I had to do, and I won the races I had to win. And let me tell you this: it's a whole lot tougher to win when you have to win. Uh, so I'll leave it at that. But to answer it more directly, I think in the beginning, I really don't know, but somebody told me this. I have I have over 500 wins. I think I should have 5,000 wins, but I did what I did. Okay, excellent album, great work, Manny. Ha ha ha! What is gone? The drugs. Are you going crazy? All right, let's take this apart. What does that mean? Ha ha
That
ha!
means,
What?
ha ha ha,
What?
there's still drugs around.
Oh, the drugs are still good. Well, you're probably right. You're probably right, but I think you're probably right. I don't know that much about it, but I know
There's
that
drugs around, but it's not the detrimental drugs that are killing the horses. There's drugs around. There's bute, there's banamine, there's dex, there's robaxin, there's drugs. They're drugs, ain't they? So the stuff that's not around is the stuff that killed all those damn
right.
horses.
The stuff that's around is the ones that can actually help a horse.
It's
Okay,
yes.
Jeffrey B says there will always be drugs in horse racing, Larry. Come on, get serious, Larry. Okay, Jeffrey B, you're 1,000% right. But what I'm telling you is that they 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 they're doing now what they should have did 30 years ago. In the 80s, they started synthesizing all of these drugs. They started taking drugs. They were veterinarians, thoroughbred veterinarians as well as standardbred veterinarians. They went overseas and they come back with drugs that there were no tests for. All of that, 99% of that is gone now. Them vets are retired. They're gone. The other handful are in jail. It's tougher and tougher to get what's going to pass. So, are some guys still doing it? Absolutely. Um, and so you're right. There's always everybody's always going to be looking for an edge. Everybody's always going to be looking for a drug that don't show up. But it's probably 70% gone now. So and I believe that a lot of them, especially the bigger stables, are a lot more careful because they are starting to really crack down. But you're right. You're right, Jeffrey. You're right. Larry is bugging out. I don't even want to get started with that. I don't know what you mean, Manny, but you can get started with it with me. We can dance. So, Manny, whatever you have on your mind, just jot it down. We'll go into it.
What'd you do? Get rid of Anthony?
No, Anthony is having a problem with
My internet.
when he checked his internet speed. It's only like 9. Mine is
9.
like 800. And
Yeah, I'm
so,
going to put a direct cable in.
all right, Jeffrey B. Can I own a piece of a harness horse for $500,000 for $500,000 a month? Absolutely. Yeah, there's all kinds
You
of
get enough people with you, enough partners. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you have 10% of a horse and the bill is 5,000 a month, yeah. So there's all kinds of deals, all kinds of. We can talk about that later if we get enough people that are interested. We can talk about all of that, and everything will be explained if we decide to do it. Okay, David. Ha ha ha, Larry. I don't know what that means, David. Me too. Jeff, Manny, Jeff, yes, you can own about 25-30% of a horse, but you have to pay purchase price first.
Yeah, of course.
Jeffrey B, you five should be owners and trainers. All 5 of you get together. If we were younger, we would be, and we all worked together at one time. But we're all old men now. We're old, and the racetracks we used to race at are no longer around, and everybody's retired. We have our own different businesses, and that's it. But I'll tell you, from what I hear now, I would, with the tax situation being reversed and and the purses. I would, if I was younger, I would probably get back in. That's the only thing I really liked and I knew how to do.
It's
And if the Meadowlands barn area was still open,
Oh, if the Meadowlands Barn area was still
all
open,
different
I'd
stories.
still be in it. Me
Yeah.
and Eddie Palmieri would still be taking care of 5 or 6 horses and that I had, and that would be it. I would just live out my life like that. It would be great. But they closed the barn area, and
is
now,
Eddie Palmieri still around, Larry?
oh yeah, yeah. He don't live far from me, but Eddie's a funny guy. He's a very very quiet guy. He
Always
The
was.
low key,
he stays to
very low key.
himself. He
Say
don't.
hello to him when you speak to him.
I don't. I haven't talked to him since I shut the stable down.
Oh,
I tried to take him out a couple of times. Finally, one time he went out with me, and I took him to a nightclub with music and everything else. He enjoyed it, but he never wanted to go back. He lives alone. He stays alone.
he was always like quiet and sat to
Yeah,
himself.
yeah, very very quiet. Nice, really nice guy.
Yeah, he's a
Sharp
good guy.
guy, good trainer and everything else. But stayed wasn't the kind of guy to go after owners or nothing. Just if if
Right.
if you were lucky enough to know him and buy some horses with him, you were getting a good fair shake because he
Yeah,
was the kind of guy that he would never do any. Every once in a while, I'd get a little rough with a horse or something, and he'd yell at me. He'd say, "Don't do that." He just stern.
yeah,
Don't do that.
yeah. He was a nice, gentle,
Yeah,
gentle guy.
yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
he had a horse that won 13 in a row, I think. Super Beetle, back at Roosevelt.
He was a good guy. He helped me a lot. He was there every morning with me. With I think I had 5 or 6 horses. I don't even remember it. The Meadowlands was there every single morning and did a good job. Good guy, great guy. Very very quiet and was a good trainer. Okay, let's see. Maybe Larry, you drive again. Maybe once or twice a night. Yeah, I have trouble sitting in this chair. See this dog here? He weighs 55 or 56 pounds. He's killing me. But there's lightning and thunder out there, and he's scared to death. Okay. The depreciation has started since Omaha. How
Obama.
Obama. How do you get? How do I get on this show? How, Manny? You want to come on the show? Send me your email address and I will send you a link and you can come on right now if you want. Come on anytime. And then you can explain what you meant on your previous whatever comment. Yeah, if you want. Hey, look, my phone number is 201-400-3485. You could text me, Manny. Send me your email address and next Tuesday I will put you on.
No, we got.
Oh, we
Ron,
got, yeah. We got, yeah,
yeah, I got Ron next week.
yeah. What the
What's
hell?
next week?
That just popped up. Wait,
Ron Versace, who owns Woodbury
Oh, right, right,
Horse
right, right.
Transportation.
Right. You know who that is?
that's Rock Vinci.
Yeah, he's in his 80s. He's still jogging horses.
How did he come up on my thing here? It just popped up.
I sent it to you.
Oh, that's Rock Vinci. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. In his
Oh,
80s, still with the horses.
wow. I remember the days Rock Vinci and Rick Plano and Lonnie Beer and what a
Yeah,
crew.
yeah. He was fun. I worked for him for a little while. My brother worked for him. That's the first guy my brother ever worked for. He was right in the same
Okay,
boat as
Manny,
Rock
the
and
depreciation has started since Obama. How do I get on this show? I just told you 201-400-3485. Text me, Manny, and I'll your email address. And not this Thursday, but not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, I will send you a link, and you'll come on, and you can be part of the show. And that goes for anybody on here. I can get up to 10 people on here.
Roll.
Okay,
Oh, no.
Jeffrey. Manny, reach out to Larry. Maybe he will drop a link. I will. I will. It's too late now. We've been on for an hour, and I was told by my 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 friends up here, don't go longer than an hour. Last week
No, I never said that.
I did.
No.
You,
Anthony did.
you need a consensus. You got to vote. No, we said an hour and a half. I think is reasonable.
All right.
You know.
Well, if you start saying goodbye at 9, it'll be 9:30.
Yeah, we just start talking. I got to try to get my dog off my lap. He's killing me. Oh God, Manny. Okay. Yeah, Jeffrey. Yeah, Manny. Yeah, Jeffrey. You too. Whoever wants to come on, just send me your email address.
I ain't
They
see no
say
Sundance tonight.
No, she
Sunday.
was on this morning
Oh,
on
Sundance.
Thomas
There's
Street.
Sundance right there. She must have just come on. Yeah, she just come on. Hi, Larry, Joe, and Eddie. She just come on. I'll get to her.
You should let
They
the
say
girls
they
do
are putting 100 million in renovations at Fairmont Park in Illinois. I don't know.
You should let the girls do a show, Larry.
Uh,
Angelique, Francis, and Sundance.
Manny, I own about 25 horses and I am getting rid of every one of them. I am 42 years old and the game broke me. Well, uh, hold on, buddy. You have to get down. Stay down. Stay.
What kind of horses he got?
Yeah, what kind of horses you have, Manny? And it's you know what it is. I'm not saying that it's management. If you're with a guy and you know what you're doing, it's management. You can't win with every horse, but you have to know when the time is up to get rid of one. You have to know where to place them. Probably the most one of the most important things a trainer can do is
Classify.
how to read the condition or the condition sheet and where to,
Classification.
yeah, classification. Classification is the whole thing. It's the name of the game, especially if you have claiming horses. You just got to know where to put them, and you just got to know. So it's I don't maybe out of the 25 you shouldn't have 25. Maybe you should only had half of them. Maybe you should only have 12 or 13. And but And I don't know if you were the trainer. I don't know if they were standardbreds or thoroughbreds. If they were thoroughbreds, I could understand. It's just a tougher game. You better have a guy that knows where to place them, where to put them, and how to treat them. But Manny, if you could, in the comments, were they standardbreds or thoroughbreds that you had? Okay. Wow, Manny, harness horses. Well, we're going to find that out. And there's Sundance. Hi, Larry, Joe, Eddie, and Anthony.
Hi, Sundance.
Hey, what's up,
Oh,
Sonny?
Sundance, I got to tell you this. You don't have to come to my house. The meeting with the Fox people was canceled. I'm not going to California. We're doing a Zoom call, so I'm not leaving for California, Sundance. So you don't have to come over, and that's that.
Oh, so they squashed it?
It's a typical Hollywood bullshit. The typical
Yeah.
bullshit. It's just, I don't want to get into that because I'll get nuts. But I made a big mistake by not re-signing with Sony and Village Roadshow. And because right after that, Frank died, killed himself. Then the writer's strike and everything. It's just been 6 years of hell.
Wow.
So now I gotta basically start. Well, who knows? Maybe the Zoom call will do the same. I just wanted to meet him face to face, but the Zoom call I guess I'll have to do. And the worst part is I got the phone call yesterday after I spent 3 hours getting a flight out there because I had two appointments out there. So I spent 3 hours getting a flight, getting a hotel. I was going to stay right at LAX, right at the Marriott, right at LAX. I had everything done. As soon as I locked in the hotel, the Marriott, I get the call, and it was Andrea. And Andrea said to me, "I just got a text. They had to cancel the meeting, and they'd like to do a Zoom, uh, uh, a Zoom." So for whatever reason, who knows?
Yeah,
Anyway, I'm
that's
gonna wait.
frustrating.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until the Zoom call, and then and I'm gonna treat it just like a meeting. I'm gonna ask the questions I had to ask, and I'm gonna say what I have to say, and then right after that, I have two or three other directions I'm gonna go in. So that'll be that. Okay, let's see what this says. Problem with owning these days is that you have to earn 60,000 minimum to break even. Who needs the write off? Well, it should be easy enough if you know what you're doing to earn $60,000, and the write off is a big. It's a major things, especially for people that want to get in it in a big way. So 60,000 is with the purses the way they are today. If you know what you're doing and you have a horse that's a minimum 20 claims, whether it be thoroughbreds or standardbreds, making 60,000 is not a problem. But you got to know what you're doing. Eddie, hope you're feeling better. Yeah, Eddie, how are you, Eddie? Did you go for your treatment
Good,
today?
good. Everything. No, I'm going. They canceled it today. I got to go tomorrow. I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. I think I got a clear head, so we go forward. That's it,
Good.
dude. I'm doing good. I just
Good.
don't like this humidity and heat. Today was a real
Oh,
bitch,
it was
man.
bad.
Working out track. Oh my
Oh,
god.
I walked my dog about a mile. I almost had to carry him back. He couldn't handle it.
I got a
Jeffrey,
nice 2 year old, Larry.
you got a nice 2 year
Larry.
old?
Yeah, her name is Mia Sophia. She'll be running at Saratoga July 19th.
Hmm.
Is that the
Yeah,
one
I
you
just
claimed
worked.
from Mott?
What?
Is that the one you claimed from Billy Mott?
No, 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 no. He's going to be racing on the 22nd. No, no. This little filly we bought in a sale. She's by Golden Sense, and she's very smart, very educated, does everything proper. I, I got her gate card today, but I breezed her. She went in 47-2, half mile, which is and did it easy. Galloped out like unbelievable. So she's good to go. So we'll see
Okay.
how it goes.
All right. All right, Jeffrey B. I will put 500 a month. That's all I can afford. Jeffrey B. If you're gonna
That's
have to
enough
come
to
up,
buy shoes.
you're gonna have to come up with the price of the horse, whatever piece of the horse you take. And if you're that strapped, you shouldn't get involved. You
Yeah.
shouldn't get involved.
Because it could go over. You never know.
Yeah, you shouldn't get involved because for the most part, probably the easiest and fastest way to get involved in racing with the standardbreds is to get involved in the claiming game. That's the best and fastest way to get involved. And you can lose everything right at the first before you even own the horse, because as soon as the word go is given, you own him. If he breaks down in that race, there's a lot of things that can happen. You saw the race that I played before. These are the things that can happen. Now they're rare, but they could happen. So
Mm.
you should, if you have a few extra dollars put away and you want to have some fun, then get involved. If not, don't get involved. David, what track you you racing at? I
That's the
guess
guy with the 25 horses. I guess he
yeah,
wants to know what track he races at.
yeah. Well, wait. He's asking this guy. Problem with owning horses these days, you have to earn 60,000 minimum break even. Who needs the write off? Okay. Problem with owning
You
horses
read
these. All
You
right.
read that?
All right. Stop yelling at me. Yes, Jeffrey Harness horses. Oh, so Manny's in. Let's see, Manny. Here's Manny. I own about 2,500. Getting okay. They're harness horses. Okay, I have to tell you, Manny. I have to tell you. If you had 25 harness horses and you had, if I don't know if you had a trainer or not, but if you had a trainer that knew what he was doing, and you and you knew what you were doing, there is no way with the purse structure the way it is today that you should went broke with 25. And like I said, maybe out of the 25 you should have got rid of half of them. And management is key.
Where's he
Yonkers
racing?
Yonkers and Monticello is where I raced. Well, you should have stuck to look. If probably the races, the Monticello horses, maybe you should have got rid of them, because if you're racing at Yonkers and Monticello, that means you were stable, probably at a training center someplace in the middle, and it gets you got to pay stall rent if you're at a farm. You got to pay stall rent, then you got to pay to ship the horse, and you got to pay to paddock the horse, and it gets very expensive. And these are all the things you got to take into consideration. So, okay, so much cheating is going on today. The stewards at tracks are looking the other way. Well, that's why I'm saying that probably Yonkers and today Yonkers and the Meadowlands, where you should be racing. Wherever the money is, that's where you should be racing. And where all the hotshot drivers are today, they're not fooling around. So that's why you should go to the bigger tracks, in my opinion. Anthony, nice to see you this morning.
Yeah, same here, Sundance. I couldn't stay long, but I just wanted to pop in and see what was going on.
Manny, you make $60K in Monticello. You are making money. That's right. It's
Yeah, with all 40 of them, you might make that.
That's 3,000 a horse.
Yeah, you're making a killing in Monticello. You make 60,000.
That's like hitting a lotto right there.
Disgrace to racing. Shut that place down immediately. Yonkers 60,000 making small amount of money or just breaking even. Yonkers 60,000 making small amount of money or just breaking even. Well, you're probably right. Between, I don't even think they have a barn area anymore at Yonkers, so you got to ship in. It probably costs you, say, 150, say even 200 to ship in. Maybe 300 between shipping and paddock. Unless you bring the groom with you, you still got to pay him for paddock. So it's going to be between the paddock and the shipping is 300. And so you just got to race for there's a I think probably a 20,000 claimer is probably the right number, because after a 30,000 claimer you only race for maybe a few $1,000s more. So maybe a 20,000 claimer is the right number. But the claiming game is tough. You can't fall in love with these things, and you better know what you're doing, because you win one or two in a row, you want to move him up, and maybe you shouldn't move him up. Maybe that's just where he fits. But so you can't be afraid of losing him. But then when you lose him, you got to hope that you make a right pick claiming something else. It's a tough game. You got to know what you're doing, both at the barn if you train them, both conditioning, both as far as recognizing and treating lameness and mental attitude. The whole bit takes the whole bit. Okay, let's see. Jeffrey B. Drive 100 miles to have your horse come in dead last. Wow, has to be a bad feeling. It sure is. That's why you got to know what you're doing. Pick your spots and everything else. I'm not saying that you can't win from an outside post, but just pick your spots. Okay, Rick Simon, how's your mom? Not only pick your spots, but you know what? That was a stupid statement. Pick your spots. What you should do when you're claiming a horse is know where you're going to race that horse. And you don't want to, if you're going to race at Yonkers, you don't want a horse that can't leave. You don't want a horse that has no gate speed. You don't want a horse that has to race strictly from behind. You want a horse that's usable. So these are all the things that you have to into consideration.
Fell asleep.
See,
Wake up, Joe.
you better fix that thing, Joe.
That's why I
Joe
said
fell
9 o'clock.
asleep. He
No, I
fell
didn't fall
asleep.
asleep. I was
Dropped
trying
the
to do
phone.
something. It's all right.
Joe's copping a nod in between conversations.
No,
Go catnap.
Who?
no, I just adjusted
Those
the
dogs.
wire here. Next week I'll have it straightened out with Anthony's contraption.
All right.
So tell her to put him on. Let him go on. I'm just getting the message that somebody that Sundance. Where are the posts at? Where are they post? Where are the posts at? Right on the comments here.
Here comes the thunder and lightning here, Larry.
All right. All right. Don't strike them. Let them come on the comments. I'll take care of it. Yeah. All right. Trish is Sundance is all upset. She says that a couple of people on here, are saying terrible things about me
They are.
that I should die. What'd you say?
Yeah, there's this guy, Spooky.
Well, put him on. Where is he?
He's down more.
What's his name?
Spooky.
Spooky. That's a good name.
Yeah.
Larry, don't even get involved.
Well, I just want to see what he says.
Yeah, but why get yourself aggravated?
What is it? Pukey, his name?
Yeah, you better block this guy.
No, wait. I want to see what he says.
He says that you have prolapse hemorrhoids.
Larry has prolapse hemorrhoids. Okay. Oh, here's another one. That's.
Yeah, he keeps repeating that. Then he says way down here,
You should die.
wait a minute. After about 100 of those, Jeffrey B. Snitch, he says,
Every person back in OTB look homeless betting. Jeffrey B. Larry. He keeps saying the same thing.
yeah, he's just hitting something that keeps repeating it. And then down here, I wish Larry dies.
Yeah, you tell him.
Okay. Suki, what the fuck is
Not
wrong with
even FBI could get me. Fuck police, fuck state.
Okay, Spooky, I'm just going to say this and then I'm not going to block you because I'm going to give you a chance to respond. Even though Joe Guarino is 100% right, you're probably a real fucking low-life scumbag, but I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to give you a chance to become a tough guy. I'm going to give you you already have my phone number. If you would send me your address, I will send an Uber for you, and me and you can go in my garage. All right. I'm 84 years old. I don't know how old you are, but as long as you're not older than me and you are going to go in my garage, just me and you. Then I'm going to close the door, and one of us is going to come out, and that's it. That's how I handle fucking scumbags like you. You're a fucking lowlife. I'm going to keep you on so you can send me your address. And after that, we're just going to block you because, look, there ain't a fucking thing in the world that could scare me, that I'm frightened of, that I can't handle. I've been through it my whole life. I grew up with this shit. The only thing is when people like you say these things that you're saying, they said it to my face, and we handle it like men, not on a fucking keyboard. So you're a scummy, low life piece of shit. And send me your address, and I'll send an Uber for you. You can come here, and we'll just go in my garage. That's the best I could do. So I'll leave you up And if I don't get your address by the end of that, but and you see what's stupid about they about blocking them? They come in under a different name, and the only and there's really nothing you can do. They usually have people. Other podcasts have people that come on, and they're able to block them. But I don't do that. You want to be a fucking scumbag. You're a scumbag. You're a fucking low life scumbag piece of shit. And and growing up the way I grew up, I dealt with you people my whole life. The thing that gets me is that how the fuck could you say these things without saying it to the person's face? How the fuck? How could you do that? How could you be such a fucking low life that you just want to do it over
Anonymously.
anonymously? I don't get it. You know what? How about this? How about this? Forget about all the tough guy shit. Why don't you come here? I'll give you my address. You come here and you sit right next to me.
No, no,
And
no,
whatever
Don't
problem
do that. No, no,
Absolutely not.
no.
whatever problem you have, we can talk it out.
Let's
Okay.
fix his IP address and find the bastard.
Okay. All right. So you're getting a lot of people upset. You're getting Sundance very upset. So okay, let's go back to we have to. The problem is he got 100 things on here.
Get
Okay.
rid of him.
Yeah, get rid of him.
Get
It's an
rid of
asshole. Get rid of him.
Listen
delete
to
everything. That's all.
I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to get rid
I'll
of it.
find out. I'll let you know tomorrow.
If he's in Florida, give him my address. I'll take care of it for you, Larry.
Yeah, or if he's anywhere near me, send him here. And I don't care where he is, send him here.
These phony counterfeits behind they're tough guys when you can't see them.
Yeah.
Just look at the picture. What the fuck is it?
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what it is.
He just
He's not sure what he is.
he said, "Wish you good moments, Larry. Last moments."
Oh, what a game.
He says now, Sundance says he's wishing me good last moments.
Psh, asshole.
Look, this whole thing is all him. All right, you
Larry,
know what?
block the guy. Forget about it.
Now he says, fuck the police, fuck the state, fuck. Okay, so he's a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
What the fuck? He's a fucking psycho. Okay. Larry got pawned. How the fuck? People really got to be. This guy has to really be. You almost have to feel sorry for him because he has nothing else to do except stupid shit like this. He's probably got to be one of these guys that just sit in a fucking room and in a dark room. I had a friend like that once. Sad, very sad. Anyway, all right. So he took up the whole thing. So what we're gonna do now is, all right. We'll get back to Manny here. Can somebody send me a link to get on here? All right, Manny. Send me. I'll do it right now. I think I know how to do this. Manny, send me. My phone number is 201-400-3485. Text me a link and I'll send you. Text me your email address and I'll send you a link right now. So we'll get that out of the way and we'll get away from this other guy.
Oh, ring your bell there, Larry. Put your thing up.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Where the hell is it now? Oh, I have to go out of here. Look what I found. I found this. Look at this. Where is it? Oh wait, I got to get rid of that. Hold it. Wait a second now. I gotta remember to. Oh boy, if I put something up and I don't get rid of it, I don't know. Let's see.
Spooky, that's a girl, that picture, isn't it?
It looks like a girl.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's neither man or woman.
That's
It's
even
confused.
that's,
Guy probably needs a lot of help. You know what? Maybe yeah, them guys are just thick. So maybe I shouldn't even. I shouldn't even. They're probably just sick people.
He's an asshole.
Yeah.
come out of the blue too. Never had this guy on, but
Uh,
Knows
whatever it
what it
is,
is.
I don't know how to get rid of this comment that was on there from Manny.
You get rid of them all the time.
Yeah, I know, but I got to find it to get rid of it. Oh, here it
Um,
is. Okay. So now
there you go.
here's what you were talking about.
Yeah,
This. There it is. How's that?
yeah.
Like and subscribe.
And
I
ring the bell, and the bell even rings.
That's pretty good. So I got to hit that every once in a while.
Yeah.
All right, Manny. I got to get rid of that. How the hell do I get rid of it now? You know, next Tuesday, guys, we're gonna have a very nice guy, a good friend. He's gonna tell stories. He was the horse transporter for all the guys that race at Roosevelt and Yonkers Raceway, and he has stories about all of them. And he's coming on. He's gonna tell. He's gonna tell. Bring us all back to them days.
Good old days.
The
very
good.
knowledgeable guy, well spoken, and very interesting man. You should tune in.
Yeah. Let's see. We got to find. We got to find that guy again. Let me see if he sent me. We'll get him. We'll get him right on here.
How do you know it's a guy?
Oh, that guy.
The other guy,
The other guy. What's his name? Not the.
Manny.
What's
Is
his
it
name?
Manny?
Manny, right?
Yeah. Where the hell is he? Can you find him?
Yeah.
Yeah. This Spooky guy. We got to leave him alone. He's probably sick. I shouldn't. I'm sorry for everything I said. I shouldn't have said it. These guys. I just get.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not.
Yeah, don't worry about it, really.
You think he cares about you or me or anybody else?
Right. This
He's
guy
probably,
Manny has a good point, and it's exactly what I was going to say before. He says, who's doing all the paperwork for all these horses? Who knows what it takes to just do the booking on a horse that has 25 partners? Good luck. Right, you have these syndicates with 10 people in it or 12 people. It's a lot of bookwork. It's a lot to get everybody to pay their share and, pay
okay.
it
This
on
guy.
time.
This guy Manny. All right, Manny. Send me 201-400-3485. Send me your text me your email address.
Email.
Yeah, text me your email address. Let's see. Oh boy, I got a bunch of messages. It says tell Anthony to block Spruey. Oh, Spruey, you got everybody in an uproar, Spruey. Spruky.
Spooky, spuky, spuke. Should be pukey.
All right, we'll wait. We'll wait for that. All right, Manny, 201-400-3485. You want to come on? Let's go. Union's gonna come after me. Oh boy. All right. Look at his spruik.
Joey, Joe, Bobby
Yeah,
Heil. I was talking to somebody about Bobby Heil.
yeah,
He was doing really great, right? And he
yeah.
fell. Listen to this story. He fell, broke his hip. He went for hip surgery.
Oh
The
God,
operation was a success. He developed a blood clot.
blood clot
It went
went to his
from
brain.
went to his brain. He had a stroke,
Aneurysm.
and that's how he passed away.
What a shame.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody had dinner with him before he broke his hip.
Uh, that's
Yeah.
really bad.
Matter of fact, Yonkers Raceway, Monday night was it? They had a big tribute to him. George Anthony was the announcer. They had all the drivers and everything in the winner's circle, and they had such a nice memorial for him.
That was
You
nice.
know? Yeah, yeah.
All right, here, Manny. Oh, this is what you said before.
Yeah.
Who's doing all the paperwork for all these horses? Well, here's what happens with them syndications. They have a manager, and the manager takes 10% of the purse. Whatever all the horses earn, they take 10%. So if the horse, so they're getting paid, and their responsibility is to notify everybody, give them updates on their horses when they are in the go and everything else. So they take care of it. It becomes a big business. One guy don't do it all. In these syndicates, they always have somebody. So here's a private number.
That must be Manny.
All right, we'll answer it. Hello. Yeah.
It's me. I sent you a text message. I sent you 5 text messages already.
Okay. Well, let me see now. I've been looking at it. It's Manny on the phone, guys. We
Okay.
got
Told
Manny
you.
on the phone. I don't have one text message.
I don't know. Maybe you blocked me by accident. I don't know.
Oh, I might have blocked you by because if you call me and I don't recognize the name, if you're not in my contacts,
So then, because I tried calling you first, so you probably blocked me.
I probably blocked you. All right, you want to give me your
Yeah,
email
I'll give
address?
you my email. You ready?
I'm ready.
So it's M like Manny, A like Apple, Z as zebra, C as cat, ONA 1982 at yahoo.com.
Okay, MAZ.
Look at you.
Let me get this straight. MAZ.
What's the
C.
matter?
Say it again, Manny.
Take one of those pills.
Zebra, C as cat,
You're spying. You got the
Okay.
magnifier.
1982 at Yahoo.
Okay, I'm gonna send you. I think I know how to do this now. Let me see if this works. If this works, it would be a miracle.
Oh shit. Joe, hold on. We might go up in the ass. I don't know.
If this works, it'll be a miracle. Let me see.
We'll be upside down next. Watch.
Yeah.
Tell me
We'll
when
make
you
a
No,
phone.
we'll be on somebody else's podcast.
Wait, I'm getting this here. M A
Oh, start
Z
again.
C
C
O.
Don't say it out loud.
O. Yeah, because maybe that guy will text him.
Yeah, really.
That guy is sending messages.
He's still sending messages?
Yep.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What's he saying now?
tell me when you sent it, Larry, because I'm
You
in
got
my
a few hours, you stupid Larry. Ice is looking for you. Oh, that's somebody else.
I sent it just now.
Let me see. Hold on.
Said he called.
Yeah, hold on.
You are too scared, Larry, he says.
Let me see if it's coming now. Hold on. All right, StreamYard.com. Let's see. Enter in the studio.
Yeah, hit that button.
Okay, so let's see. if it works here.
Okay, I don't see you yet.
There you
Where?
go. Hold on, I'm coming in right now. I gotta put my name here. So then I can have this guy harass me too, I guess. Okay.
Well, I got you. Oh, wait. Wait a minute.
There you go. You're getting somebody on the bottom.
You look like Lamont Cranston, the shadow. You're all in black.
Johnny Cash.
Hey, oh yeah, all right.
Boy, listen, I'm 42, and now I thought because you were a little older, you didn't know what you're doing, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now.
No, it took me 2 years to figure out how to do this, and I screw up every night. You were on. I don't know where you went.
Yeah, no, I'm getting back on right now because I didn't know what I was doing.
Sundance, if you're listening, don't worry about that guy. I know she gets all nervous. Don't worry about it. I shouldn't have said what I said. He's just a sick guy. So, okay.
Larry, on his comment, there's 3 dots. Click the 3 dots and it'll say ban user.
I think I'm in there.
Yeah, you're in there, Manny. Wait 1 minute. I gotta.
There's Manny right there.
Yeah, delete comment, ban user. Okay. Yeah,
Manny,
yeah.
you got a light back.
Hang up the phone. Okay. Now we have a new guy on, Manny.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Manny.
But you're all in black. Okay, but we can.
Listen.
All right, go ahead.
Because I'll tell you. Well, let me tell you why I'm in black. Because I'm sitting in my truck. I was sitting on my porch and I was having a cigar. It started pouring out here. I'm on Long Island, and I said, screw it. I'll go in my truck and I'll smoke the cigar. So I'm sitting in my truck now because it's pouring outside.
All right. So
Good. Nice cigar.
You're the one that said you had 25 horses or something like that?
So I have about 25 horses. And no, listen, I've been listening to your podcast, and, I have a construction business. So I've been listening to you while I'm in a machine and whatever because I got the AirPods on. So I just find it very interesting, everything you talk about. But, yeah, I have about 25 horses, and I'm narrowing it down right now. And it's just the game. I told you, Frank Yanati was my first trainer. And since he passed away, it just hasn't been the same. I mean,
So Johnny DeSimone driving for you?
With Frank, I didn't have like the best of horses with Frank.
You're breaking up.
No, I'm friends with Johnny DeSimone, but Johnny DeSimone doesn't really talk to anybody because now he's the
starter in Yonkers. Yeah.
Johnny DeSimone.
Manny,
don't really talk to
you're breaking up bad, Manny.
Anybody anymore. Everybody.
Manny, you're breaking up, Manny. Very bad.
You're freezing.
You're freezing and breaking up bad.
Oh, in the house.
Hold on. I'm going to fix it. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Cigar's over with.
Well, you smoking a Ginobili?
No, I was smoking a Padron, and it was actually pretty good, but now I'm done with that.
You must be the guy. Somebody told me.
Let me see if I get this off now.
That there was a guy in the construction business that had horses with Frank Yanati that basically helped him a lot through the years. You must be the guy.
Yes, the story.
Breaking up bad, guy.
Breaking up bad. You got to go in the house, Manny.
Let me see. Can you guys hear me now?
I hear you now.
All right, is that better?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
Yep.
How long are you in the business, Manny?
No, I can't hear you guys. Hold on. Now I got to figure out. Wow, this shit is really difficult here. Hold on, I got to get the speaker on. How do you get the speaker on now?
The
You're on.
speaker is on. We
Because I'm
hear
on my
you.
phone doing
hear
this. I'm
you.
not at the computer.
Why don't you go in a house and get it on the computer?
You don't want to get
Because
wet.
then my wife's going to hear that I have 25 horses.
Oh, shit.
Uh,
Let me see. Hold on one second. Let me see if I could get this. Hold on. Site.
that was-
Let me see here. Hold on. I'm trying to get it on speakerphone. Give me 1 second. Settings.
we hear you
Let me
perfect.
see. Audio.
Do you hear us?
We could hear you good. Could you hear us?
Here we go. Here we go.
Now you're frozen and we don't hear you. I think, Anthony, I think I blocked that guy. You told me what to do.
Yeah.
I
Good.
think that's what you have to do to block somebody.
Yeah. It's easy.
All right.
Yeah.
If he's still listening, I shouldn't have said what I said. You see, that's what I mean. That's why I can't have a gun, because for 5 seconds I get nuts. I say stupid things and do
Well,
stupid.
Larry, you didn't say any stupid things. He's an idiot.
No, I said stupid things.
No.
And if I just wait, I got to have a gun that when I pull the trigger, it gives me 10 seconds before it goes off and I can uncock it, because I get myself in a lot of trouble with my, just instant.
Well, I have lots of guns.
I applied for a gun.
I have my permit. I have my carry permit.
You have a carry permit?
Yeah.
I just sent in my I just went and got my
wake up,
fingerprints. Let's see if he's
I
back.
got my permit too.
Can you hear me now?
I
Yeah.
hear you now.
All right, so I fixed it. I figured out how to do it. You guys got me on. You got me on a ledge here. I'm trying to do it fast. But anyway, so what happened was I'm 42 right now, and I met Frank when I was I was probably about 20 when I met Frank. I went out with his daughter, and when I was hanging, when I was going out with his daughter, she told me in it, and I ended up buying a Fort Flamer, and that's where it started from. And I didn't stay with his daughter. We went our separate ways, but I stayed with Frank for all those years. I had a lot of horses with Frank, and I tell you, I mean, I miss him a lot because he was like another father to me. But that's the sucky thing about me is I grew up on Long Island, but I had a lot of older friends, and it sucks having older friends being a younger guy because you watch your older friends leave you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was pretty much it. And I had a lot of horses with Frank. We had some decent horses. He was probably the most honest guy in the business because there was no games with him. Everything was straight to the wire. No, he didn't play no games. If the horse was no good, the horse was no good. If the horse was good, it was good. He didn't play any games with the drugs or anything like that. It was either the horse could go or the horse can't go.
You were with a good guy. You were with an honest guy. But anybody that has a big stable in Monticello basically has no chance. So if you were lucky, if you broke out even. You were really lucky because you hooked up with a guy like Frank Giannotti that didn't rob you and didn't steal. You got a fast shake, and he treated the horses with respect and everything else. So that part is good. But as far as making money goes, look, I'll put it to you this way: if you live up that way and you had horses with Frank, and you broke out even, or you lost what you could afford to lose, but you had fun, good for you. But if you were in it to make a few dollars and make some money, you can't race at Monticello. You
Well,
just there's
so
no way. There's no way to make money, and you have to you got to race at one of the bigger racetracks. But the problem with that is I don't know if you'll ever get a guy, and I don't want to knock the other trainers, but when you get a guy that's saintly, it's hard to find another saintly guy because everybody in that business is looking for an edge, looks to take shortcuts, looks to looks to do. So you were lucky with that. But if you're going to stay in the business, or you have 25 horses now and Frank is gone, probably the best thing to do is keep the best of ones you got, keep a handful of them, give them to some trainer that you feel that you could trust, and just take it from there. If not, get out of the business completely. And
Well, Larry, I'll tell you what the issue is now. The issue is, first off, I told you in one of the other podcasts, on one of the other episodes, what ended up happening is, as I got older, the business started getting better and everything. And like you said about the depreciation, at the end of the day, you could depreciate horses now. So, like when you go in to do your taxes and you see you owe $100,000, you could go buy a horse for $100,000 and depreciate the horse, and you could offset it. So you either send the government your money, or you buy a horse and you start a business with horses, and then you start depreciating that way. And that's what I started doing. And we went to a sale, and I was at a sale at the Meadowlands when they had the Tatter sales. You remember the Tatter sales at the Meadowlands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was standing there, and I just showed up there. I didn't tell Frank I was going. I just showed up there. And this is an interesting story. And listen to me, I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not doing that. I'm not that type of guy. So I'm going to just tell you the story, and you'll understand how I feel. So I'm at Tatter Sales. Horse comes in the ring from the trainer, Tony Alagna. The horse is Captain Nemo. Horse sold at Lexington for $440,000. I look at the horse. I said, "Man, this horse is beautiful." I end up buying the horse for $26,000. I go over to Tony Alagna. I said, "So what's wrong with the horse?" He said, "Well, he had he tore his tendon." He goes, "The owners don't want him. They're done with him. You'll probably get him back racing." I said, "Okay." And he's a stud. He's a stud at the same time. I called Frank up. I said, "Frank, I just bought Captain Nemo." He said, I saw it on the website. You bought him. What are you doing?" I said, "I'm sending him to you now." So anyway, I send him to Frank. Frank starts working with this Captain Nemo, and Captain Nemo's by Captain Treacherous, and he's out of a Hanover world champion mare. Unbelievable looking horse. So Frank gets him going. I said, "Frank, do me a favor. Don't kill the horse. Race him in Monticello. Let's see how many wins we could string off." Anyway, we get the horse racing. He wins about 5, 6 in a row. Everything's going good with him. About his 7th or 8th start, he tore his other tendon. Not the tendon that he injured the first time, he tore the other tendon. So Frank said to me, he goes, "The only good thing about him is you probably could breed him to some of your mares." So that's what I did. We healed him back up. Frank took care of him in the barn, jogged him every other day after his tendon healed up. And I kept the horse as a stud, and he was like a pet. And Frank did the right thing with the bill. Like, he didn't charge me an astronomical amount of money. He took care of the horse. Whatever the horse cost, that's what Frank charged me. And I was appreciative of it. And then I started breeding them. Anyway, long story short, I'm fast forwarding a couple years. Well, let me get to where I'm at now. So now the business is getting better. I have a partner in a couple businesses with me. We go to the sales to buy some horses now, and now we're spending $60,000, $75,000, $100,000 on horses. Frank's like 78, 79 years old. I said, "Frank, we're going to go for it now." He turns around. He says to me, he says, "Manny," he calls me Manny. Everybody calls me Manny. He calls me Manny like my mother would. "Manny, I know you're trying to look out for the best for me. I'm too old to take young horses like this and start traveling the circuit with it." So he told me I was better off. He told me I was better off going with Ray Schnicker. So I get a hold of Ray Schnicker because I have my brood mares and I'm breeding horses with Cameo Hill Farms, and I hook up with Ray Schnicker. So now I give Ray Schnicker all the horses. I give him, all the horses we bought, and I'm still with him as of today. So my good horses are with Ray. Frank dies. Now I'm in a predicament because you guys know this. I have a stud. There's nobody in the world that wants to take a stud. I'm trying to bring him anywhere. Nobody wants a stud because you need a paddock all for himself. You can't put him around mares. You can't do this. You can't do that. So I'm stuck with him. Anyway, I had to put Captain Nemo on. I just said to myself, you know what? This is starting to become too much for me. I'm going to get out of the broodmare business. I'm going to get rid of Captain Nemo. I put him on gate. A lot of people told me, they said, Manny, nobody's buying Captain Nemo. And I'm not mentioning names. They told me nobody's buying Captain Nemo. Well, I sold Captain Nemo 2 days ago. They told me I wasn't getting $1,000 for him. I sold him for $29,000. Somebody bid it on him for $29,000 in Argentina. So it made me a little bitter in the game that guys are telling me I'm not getting $1,000 for a horse, and then the horse sells for $29,000. I mean, how would you feel? So I got rid of Captain Nemo, and now all the horses I had in Monticello, I started spreading them all out. And again, I'm not going to mention names. I gave a horse to this guy. I gave a horse to this guy. The only person that did the right thing by me was Betsy Phillips. Do you guys know who Betsy Phillips is?
I know Betsy.
Yeah.
Betsy Phillips took a horse from me, and she did the right thing. She gave me a bill, but she gave me a bill, and the bill was a legitimate bill for Monticello. I got other bills to race in Monticello. I ended it immediately. I got bills in the mail for $4,000, $4,200. I called up the trainers that had the horses. I said, I'm racing for $4,500, $3,500. How do you expect me to pay a bill for $4,000? It doesn't make sense. Anyway, I got rid of all the cheaper horses. They're all gone. It's just, I got to tell you that I'm just a little bitter about the game, not having Frank around. It's a little bitter. And I have good horses. I mean, I have a horse going tomorrow in the Sire Stakes in Buffalo for $60,000, who's competitive. I have a horse going in Saratoga on Thursday for $175,000. That horse made over
You're breaking up again, man.
$200,000 so far. It's just done because. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you broke up for a couple of seconds there.
No, I just said that, not having Frank around, it's not the same. And, even though I had horses with other people, I was always able to talk to Frank, and he would still guide me through. He would guide me and tell me what he thinks. And I don't have that anymore. So it's like, there's a piece of the puzzle missing now. And I'll be honest with you, I'm bitter about it.
Let me tell you what you're going through. You had a guy like Frank that was that you never had a problem. Good communication, he was level with you and everything else. After Frank died, what you did, the only mistake you made, was getting in the breeding business. I mean, that's a tough business. Unless you're extremely wealthy, that's a tough business because just like you said, you're either going to stay in it or you're going to wind up like you wound up. And the only option, you got lucky that you sold them to out of the country. So what you did was you just went through a whole learning process, and you got a little lucky. You got lucky that you did what you did with the horse rather than just sell him to the Amish for $1,000 or something like that. Listen to these guys. You did your homework. You learned. You made a couple of mistakes and you learned from them, and now you're pretty sharp. You got rid of the cheaper ones, and for me, you're never going to find another guy like Frank. And when you go to a big stable like Snichter, the communication is not going to be the same.
Well, Larry, the one, I don't mean to cut you off. The one thing I'm going to tell you is I gotta stop you right there because I've been with Ray for about 4 years now. I speak to him constantly. It's actually a great relationship. We have a lot in common with martial arts and wrestling and all that. It's just that it's a very unforgiving business. And I'll give you another example. I had a horse about 2 years ago, Hallelujah Hanover, who was Captain Nemo's Captain Nemo's full sister. I bought her at Lexington for $75,000. Her first race, she paced in 50 flat at Poconos. I got a phone call. I was offered $250,000 for her. I thought I was a big shot. 2 weeks later, she was done. She was worth about $5,000.
Look, you got for the most part in this business, it's a very unforgiving business. You hooked up with Snichter. Snichter is maybe 20 miles from where Frank was. So you're right there. It's right in your neighborhood. Snichter has he basically controls Goshen. So he has his own place. He has like having his own training center. His wife is a veterinarian, so you're getting the best of everything. Snichter is a very, very, very sharp guy. Very sharp guy. He was the first one that I heard him make a statement, and it's probably one of the truest statements I ever heard a trainer make. And he was telling somebody they want to know how he got so many young horses to the races so soon, and all sound. And he said that he breaks them, he trains them up to maybe December, and he gives them a month off just to catch up to himself. Now that one statement there proves that the guy knows what he's doing, and that 30 days that he gives them off, where in his words to catch up to themselves, that's what breaks a lot of horses down. That's why Ray is very, very sharp guy, come up with a lot of real good horses, and if you're lucky enough to communicate with him the way that you do, you're a lucky guy, because he got a lot of owners. He's a big outfit, and if you have that kind of relationship with him, you're a lucky guy. Ray's a good guy. He's a sharp trainer, very, very smart, very, very sharp. And if you have that that's the only problem with having horses with a big stable is communication. But if you have a good communication with them, you're a lucky guy. So I don't know what your problem is. I think you already solved all the problems that you have, got rid of the cheap horses, found a guy that levels with you, that you get along with, you're racing all right, and you got rid of your stallion.
Yeah,
So
well, Larry, I'm going to tell you what my problem is, and I'm sure that all of you guys could understand this. But last year I'm in the Sire Stake Finals. Again, I'm not mentioning names, but I'm in the Sire Stake Finals. We go down to Yonkers. We're racing for $250,000, and I'm there with my cousin. And my cousin goes, "What's the matter?" I said, "I got no shot of winning. I got no shot of winning. I'm not with this." And who I was going against, I couldn't win. And I knew I couldn't win. And I come third because I was third best in the race. And I knew I was third best in the race because the first two horses, I couldn't beat them because of the trainer. I know who the trainer is. I know what he's about. And that makes the sport, dealing with that, going in a race and looking at certain trainers' names, knowing you don't have a shot in the dark. I mean, what am I really doing it for if I know I can't beat the horses?
the only option is get out of the game. That's the game. Everybody is looking for an edge, and you either have the best horse or you don't have the best horse, and that's just the way it is. There's nothing you can do about it. You're getting aggravated because you're in a sire stake race with a bunch of New York breds. That happened with that horse that I sold that hypoxic chamber to. He had that horse for the Hamiltonian Broad Bond, and there were 4 horses that he raced against, 3-year-old trotters that he raced against every week, and he couldn't beat them. He just couldn't beat them. And his owner was that big fat guy that used to wear the dungarees, and he's a very wealthy guy, and he bought one of the hypoxic stalls from me, and he raced the horse out of there, and he win, and then he win the Hamiltonian, and that's how he solved that problem. But without the apostolic stall, he's in the same position. He has a horse that's eligible for all of these stake races. He probably paid through the year $60, $70, $80,000 to keep up all the payments for all the stakes, and he winds up fourth or fifth best. That's the game. There's nothing you can do about that. And you're telling me you get aggravated because you know you're third best. What are you going to do? The other thing you can do is go in the grandstand with a high-powered rifle and shoot the other two. You know, there's nothing you can do. It is what it is.
I guess I have a different. I'm look.
Manny, Manny, it's a
Yeah.
competitive sport, and you go in there and think you're the best. It's like me
Right.
with the thoroughbreds. I have nice horses, but my competition is Todd Fletcher and Chad Brown and all the big multi-billion-dollar trainers. But just to compete with them, and if you do beat them, that's a task that you'll feel great when that happens. Don't ever go in with a negative attitude in anything. And you in your business, construction, and horses, and life, always be positive. And one day the cream's going to come to the top, brother, and you'll be fine.
And anything
Keep a
can
good
happen in a
attitude,
race.
and you'll be.
And another
That's it.
thing, Manny, the only way that you can have the control that you want is to race claimers. That's the only way. You're your own race secretary. You put them where you want, and if they win a 20,000 claimer, you leave them right there. If you want, put them in 18. You could race them but the claiming game is a very very tough game to play, and the game that you're in now it's a tough game because all the top trainers with all big money, they all go to the same sales as you. They all buy the same kind of horses as you. They're all eligible for the same stakes as you. And then it's just a matter of luck. You got to remember, if they 20, 30 yearlings sold every year, there's only a handful of them that are worthwhile talking about, and you just got to get lucky. If you want to dominate, you got to play the claiming game, but you better know what you're doing. And a lot of trainers like Ray Schnichter, he's more interested. Ray Schnichter made a lot of money because of playing the yearling end of it, with stallions and brood mares and everything else that he sold. He became a wealthy guy. You can't become a wealthy guy in the claiming game, but in the claiming game you have total control. You won't make the millions. You won't have a claimer because 90% of the claimers are geldings anyway, or mares. You're not going to have one that you can syndicate. But on the other hand, you could be in the game that you're in now with the 2 and 3 year olds and all the stake races. You could be in that game for 100 years and never have a stake winner. That's just the game. But in the claiming game, you're your own boss. You could just dominate if you want, especially if you have the money and you're not afraid. You have a guy like Schnichter that you could send him a horse that you just claimed, and he'll figure him out if he does have a problem right away. But I'm not sure if Schnichter wants to play a claiming game. He's more interested.
No. Ray doesn't claim. He doesn't race claimers, and he doesn't claim horses.
So
That's not.
so
That's
you're
not.
you're in a game where you're in the hands of it is what it is. It is what it is. And even when you go to the sale, there's no guarantees. When was the last time you went to a sale and bought a full brother to a champion that become a champion? I think it happened once in 150 years. So, and you can't go by heart size, by lung size, by all of that stuff was tried before. And you can't go, well, this one toes out, this one toes in. None of that shit makes a difference because, if you go and see all the best horses and go in a paddock and look at them, one stands out, one stands in, one's in at the knees, so you can only do, and probably the average world champion in standardbreds probably costs 40, 50,000. So, it's just a tough game. So if
You
you're
know,
going to get,
I think I, I
it's,
I think a part of it. Listen, I think a part of it. Frank's not even gone for. It's probably not even 2 months yet, and I think that's maybe that's dwelling on my head a little bit. That I don't listen. I spoke to Frank 8 times a day. I would be on the phone with Frank. I'd get off the phone with him at 9 o'clock. He'd tell me he's going to bed. I call him back 15 minutes later. Hey Frank, what about this? What about that? He would get back on the phone for another hour and a half and talk to me. So I guess not that void is empty now. And I think he talked me off of a ledge a lot of the times with the horses. As far as the claiming, it's funny you say that because I used to ask Frank all the time to claim, and Frank said, I don't want to claim horses because you're going to get a dud eventually. You're going to claim a horse from somebody that you don't know what's what, and you're going to end up with a dud. And then you have to eat the whole horse if you claim them for 20 or 30,000.
it's exactly right. He's 1,000% right. But that's the only game that you can have total control. You're your own race secretary. And if you play the game right, you're not afraid to lose. You especially at the smaller tracks. Who the hell has 15, 20,000 to claim a horse up Monticello? Nobody. You could win 15 in a row with a 20 claimer. Who's going to claim him? Nobody up there got any money to claim him. The only problem is the race secretary will probably write you out of these races, but that's the only. That's the at the bigger tracks you will lose that horse. And what Frank said is 100% true. The game that and I played it for a while, but I think now they probably changed the rules where you could claim one for 20 and then put them in the next week for 15, and everybody's scared something must have happened. In the meantime, you win the 15. Now you break even, then you put them back in for 20 or 15. And you can't lose. You can't lose playing them games. But now I think the rule is if you claim, you got to raise them up 20% or 10 for 30 days or something. But that's the only game. If you're going to get yourself aggravated about if the aggravation is more than the enjoyment, get out of the game and start another business.
No, I hear you. Hey, Eddie, I want to tell you something. Before I got involved in the harness
Yeah.
racing, I would go to, because I'm
Yeah.
close by Aqueduct and Belmont. And I'll tell you, I wish
Right.
I would have done it, but I met Steve Caceres. You know Steve Caceres?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I would meet
Yeah.
him
He's
there, and I
down
used to
in
go.
Laurel.
Oh, because when he was here, he was at Aqueduct in Belmont, and I got to tell you, he was a real nice
Yeah.
guy. And I used to sit outside with him, and I met him through a barber guy, an older guy. He introduced me to him, and I went by like maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks before I got involved in the game, and I asked him. I said, "Let me ask you, if I buy a thoroughbred, what's the game plan here?" And the guy was he was a good guy. He turned around. I said, the bill is what kills you every month in a horse, the monthly bills. So I said to him, I
Yes.
said,
Yeah.
listen, Steve, I said, I don't want a monthly bill. He goes, you don't want a monthly bill? And he turned around, he said to me, he says, I'll pick a
I'll
40
go
50
50.
claimer. I'll go 50 50. You don't have to pay a bill. And you know what, Eddie? That wasn't a
Yeah.
bad deal. And I should have done it. That's not a bad deal when
Well,
you
the
when you think
50.
about it.
Well, the 50-50 deal is, see, if somebody wants to make a deal, I go 60-40, and I pay all the bills. But you have to do it like for the price that you said, 40, 50,000. See, a lot of these small trainers, they make deals with 10, 12, 5 claimers, and they get crucified. But it is good for you because you're not going to pay no bills. And if the horse gets claimed, it's your money. You're not going to lose it. It's a great deal if a lot of trainers do it, but the day rate will kill you. I mean, but the purses, it compensates. I mean, you're racing for a lot of money, 80,000, 90 something thousand. Maidens are racing for 110,000. You know, but you got to keep a good attitude. Frank Unati was a great guy, and I know what you're talking about, but you're not going to find it in any other trainer. It's just like when before you get married, you want to meet a girl that's like your mother. You're not going to find a girl that's like your mother. It's just like Frankie. You're not going to find a trainer like him. Now, he was honorable, class, And if you enjoy the game, just do what you're doing, invest wisely, and Larry's right. Go into the claiming game. If you go in the claiming game, you could always go up or down. I mean, I know it's a shot, just like you go to a sale and spend 40, 50,000. You don't know what you're buying, you know. So claiming, it's a racehorse. You've seen it race 15, 20 times, and you know it. So
His
you take
problem
that
is
shot.
Eddie. His problem is he's not the trainer. His problem is he has to
Yeah,
find a trainer that's like Frank. It's gonna be
yeah.
very, very, very difficult to find a trainer that's like Frank. And
Manny, do you know Anthony Regina?
I know.
Manny,
Yeah. I don't know him personally, but I have seen him before. I have seen him before. I
there's
believe he was.
there's a kid. There's a kid that is a very honorable kid. I know him since he's a teenager, and if you ever decide to go anywhere, with a cheap horse or claimer, he's up in Monticello 24/7. He's really a dynamite dude, right, Joey?
Yep, good guy.
Boring, wake up. Am I boring you?
Who, me?
No, I thought you were sleeping.
No, I
No, I
answered.
said Anthony Regina.
On
Anthony
another
Regina.
note,
You break it up again.
on another note, just to get off of that topic, where it's not. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
So on another note, like just to talk about something in general, I watch the races and I watch Yonkers, and you forget about being an owner at Yonkers. Like, just forget about being a horse owner, but you watch a race at Yonkers, and the horses, the post position is 1 through 8. Okay, they leave the gate, it's 1 to 8. Nobody makes a move, nobody does nothing until the last 300 feet. It's hard to, and then when you have a horse in a race there, like, you're looking like who's giving a hole to who's like holes are getting, nobody's out there. And, when you go to Canada, there's no opening holes and letting a guy in a hole. There is none of that. They stop it immediately. You get fined, you get days, and they just line up at Yonkers, and that's the way they go. And then when they hit the stretch, at least at the Meadowlands, what do they call it? The Meadowlands Shuffle, how the whole horses are all over the place. They come out, who's
Right.
coming out, and that's that's hard to watch too. You have a game horse and guy sneaks in a hole in on you. Like, I'm more a guy that I'm watching the race. Man, close the hole up, close it. There's no,
Yeah.
we're not giving out party favors here. But I'm
Well,
not the driver.
how many horses you have
all
now,
these guys
Manny? How many horses you have now?
So I had 25 horses, and I'm probably. I mean, you want to know how many horses I have with babies and foals on the ground and race horses, or altogether?
Altogether?
Altogether, I probably got rid of. I'm probably down to 22 now,
Well, if I was,
and I have
That's a
20.
lot.
I have 20. I have 20. I have 22 horses. Okay, that I own 50% or more. I own 50 or 100. I'm not one of these owners. Oh, I own the tail of the horse. I don't own the tail of the horse. I own the whole horse. I don't own the foot. These guys. Oh, I own 5% of the horse. I wouldn't. I wouldn't own 5% of a horse. I would never get involved in owning 5% of the horse. So, I want to own the majority of the horse most of the time, because if I decide I want to get rid of the horse, I don't really care what the other people say. It's my horse.
Manny, the
Yeah.
only thing, I about 2 years ago, I met a guy that sounded very much like you, a very successful guy and everything. Just wasn't happy. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just charging my phone. Go ahead.
What my suggestion to you is, you must have, if you have the kind, you said you had a construction business and you're involved in 2 or 3 other businesses. If them 2 or 3 other businesses and your construction business is making you enough money where where you can get, because you're involved, you're involved in two or three businesses with the horses that are very, very risky businesses. You know, you're breeding yourself. You have brood mares. You have young horses. You have stake horses. You have, I mean, if for you to get to this point, uh, and you're not a stupid guy. You're not. You're the kind of guy that researches things, and sometimes you research them to death. But you must make a lot of money to be able to afford the where you're at now. Now, what I'm about to say is what I said before. If it's getting you to the point where you're getting aggravated, it's not worth it, because it's not going to change. It's not going to change. You might as well just get out and get something else to, you know, you probably enjoy it a lot, but it sounds like you're very, very aggravated when you're telling me that you're going to a stake race up in Buffalo and you know that you're not going to win. You get aggravated. That's the game. That
Yeah.
that's it. You should
No,
get out of the business or start another business that you know, because right now
no,
you're
Larry. No, Larry. Not that. Listen, I have a shot to win. Let me tell you that. But I also know that if I lose to a horse, I lost to a cheat. That's what bothers me.
That's the
Can
game
I?
too.
I can't
That you
confirm.
can't help.
you're not gonna ever
No,
get rid.
Anthony. Yeah, Anthony. I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you something. I had a horse last year in the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes, and I won the PA Sire Stakes 2-year-old filly trot. And I got to
Mm.
tell you, you want to know why I really won that race? Because in Pennsylvania, they're very stringent with their testing. They don't play games there. Spot testing. They're on top of their game in Pennsylvania big time. There's no games played in Pennsylvania. I don't know if it's because New York has so many more horses. From what somebody told me, I don't know if this is true or not. To test a horse for, steroids, epigen, I heard that some of these tests cost more than the horse is worth.
It sound. You know what we're doing here, and I'm glad you came on. As far as I'm concerned, you can come on every week. But we're taking the place of Frank Unati. You're
Can
airing
you hear
you're
me?
airing out all your frustrations, and they're legitimate frustrations, but there's no option. There's nothing that you can do about it. That's the game. There's always going to be, and the higher up you get, the more how can I say this without getting anybody in trouble? The higher up you get, the tougher the competition, the more the more them guys there have all the edges, and they're constantly changing the edge and looking for the edge. You're in a game. You happen to be with a guy that's pretty up to date on all of that stuff, and the fact that his wife is a veterinarian don't hurt neither. But it's tough, and it's not going to change. It's not going to. It's going to slow down. It's going to slow down. And what I suggested earlier, with Freddie Hudson involved, is just play the claiming game, and maybe buy one or two yearlings every year, a couple of 2-year-olds every year, buy enough racehorses where you can make a profit and still pay for the young horses. And every year you take a shot with one or two or three that maybe they'll become decent. If not, just get rid of them right away, just to stay in action. Because you got to remember that everybody you see on the screen here, that we've been in the business a total of probably 400 years between everybody that comes on this show. I myself was 60 years. So that's all we know. That's all we live. And there's a period of time where it got really, 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 really bad. But you're in a game where you don't have an option. You don't train yourself. It's up. Thank God you got another guy like Frank Unati, in Ray Schnichter, but it is what it is, and the game that you're playing with these young horses, you have to have your other businesses have to be very successful, or you wouldn't have never got to this point. And you're talking about you're probably in a business now for 10, 15 years. You probably went through millions and millions of dollars. So
Well, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. So I'm in the business, really. I started the business when I was 20. So I'm in the horse business for 22 years. Now, I didn't spend the amount of money when I was 20 years old, but as it got older, whatever. But honestly, I only started making money since I'm with Ray Schnicker. That's the only time I actually made, the past 3 years, I made money.
well, you had no shot at Monticello just because you had Frank trainer for you. He was honest and everything else, but Frank had two things against him. The first thing is he raced on hay and oats. I mean, you had no shot. The second thing is there was no purse money up there, so you really had no shot. The only shot you had was that you had a good, honest guy that happened to be a nice guy that level with you and did the best that he could. But he every time he hit the racetrack, there were one or two or three horses on the track that had a big edge over him, even though they were in the same class. And it was just Monticello is a tough place to race at. I was up there for a long time, and starting in the '80s, it became not the place to be. And but
Larry,
so my advice to you is I would
Larry, you know what the thing is.
go ahead.
No, he's just breaking up.
I'll tell you when I was with when can you hear me again?
Yeah, I hear you now. You break up a lot, but go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
because I'm on my phone. If I ever talk to you guys again, I'll do it on the computer. But you know what the thing is? I'm going to be honest with you. When I was with Frank, it wasn't about making money. First off, I loved the guy. Second off, I had fun doing it. Third off, I loved the action. If you're asking me, when I was with Frank, did it cost me money? Of course, it cost me money, but it wasn't. It wasn't out of control. Like other people, you could have other habits. Cost me. I really didn't care because I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed doing it with Frank. And we had ups and downs, and just like anything else, I'd get mad about a horse, but I really loved it because it was him, and I loved him as a person. That's why I'm telling you, it's too fresh that Frank isn't here, and I think that's what's got me
look,
a lot bitter. And like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head. I'm on here with four guys right now that are in the business, just like Frank was in the business, that has started watching your pod void for me.
you're freezing and breaking up. Poor Manny. Well, at least we got rid of that other guy anyway.
No, he's back again.
I hope.
How's he
He's
back?
back. He's back under Jesus' uncle.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
shit!
Well, I'm not going to say nothing. The poor guy's sick. And
Just keep
somebody
talking.
else on here said that he's a troll or something, whatever they
Yeah,
call
he's a troll. He goes on different sites and does stupid shit like this.
Manny, you alive?
Yeah, he's
You're
frozen.
frozen solid.
Well, guys, I tell
Can
you
you hear
what,
me?
There you go. You're
You hear
back.
me again?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
are.
Oh,
You
you
got
so you
froze for
no,
about 3-4
what?
minutes.
Yeah. Now, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Keep your head straight.
So, Larry, what I was saying to you is when I first started the business, you're right. Maybe it cost me a couple dollars, but I was with Frank and I grew a relationship with him. I mean, I loved the guy like a father. He loved me like a son. And, it wasn't number one, I loved the horses. Number two, I loved him. And number three, I liked the action.
Well, you know
So at
what,
the
Manny? You know what I think?
end of the day, I didn't care if it cost me a couple. It didn't bother me. God, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Not good.
I don't know why this fucking phone is doing this. The fucking phone's $1,200. The fucking phone don't even work right. Let me see if I move over to the other side. Is that better?
I think so. Yeah. You know what? It's. I think, and
Can
I don't want you to get
you
mad,
hear
but
me now?
yeah, I hear you. Where are you now? Outside?
I moved over to the other seat.
On
Oh
the
boy.
roof next.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on the roof.
You know
Eddie,
what
I'm gonna get a ladder. I'm gonna go sit on the roof.
here's what you're saying. Here's what you're saying. And that's why I think you need a psychiatrist. Here's what you're saying. You're saying that you had Frank. He's like a father to you. You really loved it. You didn't make any money, but it didn't matter because he treated you like a son. You really enjoyed the game and you liked the action. And now that he's died, you're very upset and everything else. But the last 3 years, you made more money in the horse business than you never made money with Frank. You made money with Snickter, but you're very unhappy and everything else. You have you really need to, instead of talking to us guys, you need a psychiatrist. You need somebody to fix you. You're dwelling on a really good guy, but you're not going to find another Frank. You come pretty close with Snickter, but my advice to you is get rid of all the brood mares, get rid of the breeding end of it, because that'll unless you have an unbelievable construction company where you're building high rises in Manhattan. But if that's not the case, get rid of all the young horses, get rid of the brood mares, stick with what you have, whatever Snickter tells you to buy as far as 2-year-olds or 3-year-olds, and just hope you get lucky. And that's the name of the game. You just got to get lucky. And the game that you're in, well, in the whole horse business, you got to get lucky. But you're all over the place. And then you're the kind of guy. How big of a business is? How many men you got working for you? I mean, are you like this with your foreman and everything?
Or what I could do,
What?
or
You better go back to the other
Go sit
seat.
on the roof.
oh, I got it.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
you're gonna get
How is it now? Can you hear me?
where you
Yeah,
now, on
yeah.
the fender or the bumper? You still there?
I'm on the fucking roof, like Eddie said. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here.
on
I'm
the
on the roof.
Jesus.
Your
Next time
cigar's gonna get wet.
you
I
want to
can't
go,
fucking believe it.
you got to go on the computer.
Come on
Hey,
again
Manny,
when
you
you're
know
on the
No,
Jimmy
I have to go on the
McGowan?
computer. Is that better? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for now.
Stand still.
Yeah,
Don't move.
I got the phone out the window. Yeah,
All
I'm gonna
right.
try not to. But yeah, Larry, I listened to you. I need a psychiatrist. You said.
Well, I don't want to insult you, but I mean, you can't dwell on. Frank's a good guy and he's a great guy, but you can't dwell on it. and you're all over the place, and not only that,
Listen to me.
and you spill your guts
Listen,
to everybody you meet with Caceres. Uh, you just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I've been through this with one or two guys, owners that I had that were in the same position as you, and it is what it is. You just
well,
the
maybe I
best.
should get maybe I should get a horse with Eddie, and we're going to race some thoroughbreds now.
Race the thoroughbreds. There's Eddie right there. He knows what he's doing. He's going to race at a place that's right near
If you
your
want,
house.
where are
Buy
you in
it.
Long Island?
Eddie, where are you racing? I grew up
Racing at
I grew up in the 5 towns.
the 5 towns, Manhasset, and all that.
No. I grew up in the 5 towns in with Lawrence, Cedarhurst, Woodmere, Hewlett, but now I'm out.
Oh,
I live out in Montauk by Massapequa.
oh, you want to? Okay. You buy
Where are you at, Eddie?
Ivoroni's?
Oh yeah, the
I'm in
best.
East
That place is the
Gulfport.
best. Oh, so so you're way up. You're up north, but you come down here every day.
Yes.
Oh wow, you got
3:30
some
in the
ride every
morning.
day. Wow.
Nah, as long as there's no traffic, there's nobody out on the road at 3:34. But if you
And
ever
you're
want to get into the thoroughbred, you contact me. I'll make you that deal, and you'll have fun. And I'm honest. I don't rob. I don't steal. I do the best I can, and I compete with the best. So,
Eddie, where are you? You're based. You're at Aqueduct.
but Belmont. I'm in Barn 61.
So you're in Belmont. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to be a beautiful place when they open it.
Yes, it is. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be a state of the art, that place. Yeah, but that's where the money is. Schnichter got thoroughbreds.
Yeah, from what he tells me, he has quite a bit of them. He likes it.
Yeah.
Listen, I like the thoroughbreds too. The only thing is, I just don't got no patience for the thoroughbreds. I can't. I need to see a horse race every week or every 2 weeks. A thoroughbred, I don't know. I'm gonna have to grow some patience to have a thoroughbred.
Well, I tell you, I got the trotter mentality because I trained trotters for 28 years. So I train thoroughbreds the same way, not the same way, but I race them. I race them long as they get off the track sound and they eat and I put them right back in the box, and not that I race them 4 times a month, and because you can't, they're not that durable.
I,
So
I got you. So Larry, where are you at? Where do you live?
I live in Lyndhurst, right by the Meadowlands racetrack.
Okay, so you're over there. And Anthony, where are you at?
Smoky Mountains, North Carolina.
Oh, nice. And I know Joe's in Florida, right?
Yeah.
All right, Larry, what you got to do with this other fucking bozo on here leaving comments and shit, what you got to do is you got to take like that person Sundance, whoever Sundance is, obviously you know who Sundance is. You got to make them a moderator in your chat. And if you make a couple people that you trust as a moderator, they could take care of the chat for you 1, 2, 3, where they could kick them out, mute them, so they don't
Yes,
say nothing.
Sundance usually does that. She calls me, and she used to work for me for years, and but now I know how to block them. So this only happened 2 times since I've been on there now for 2 years, and it only happened twice. And after this time, after 5 seconds, I realize that I'm a fucking asshole by even responding, and then I get and then I shouldn't do it, and I'm going to try never to do it again. Because Joe's right. Joe just says don't even pay attention, but when I just can't help it for the first 5 seconds. I just
You
get.
just got to block them right away. When you see it consistent like this, you just have to block them right away. After
Yeah,
a
I know
while,
how to block them now. You told me how to do it. But
yeah. So just
yeah.
get rid of them as soon as they come on.
All right. So far now, listen. Listen, Manny, you have two or three businesses. You spend a lot of money. So here's my suggestion to you. Get rid of the brood mares and get rid of the babies that are coming up because that'll eat you alive. That'll really eat you alive. So that's the first thing you got to do. Just keep the horses that are racing and know when to get rid of them. And that's the first thing you should do. Second thing you should do is get involved with Eddie with one horse for $20,000, $30,000. Third thing you should do is when you go to visit Florida, go to Joe Garino's ice cream parlor. He has
Right.
an ice cream parlor in the big flea market down there. He's only open on Saturdays and Sundays, but he makes the best banana splits that you ever and even hey Joe, do you make
Cotton
you know what
candy.
a milkshake is? Nobody knows what a milkshake is.
How could they not know what a milkshake is?
Larry,
What?
I'm the king milkshake.
Baking
Oh,
soda.
Never
okay.
mind a milkshake. What about an egg cream?
So Manny, so now when you go to Florida, go visit Joe's. Go, he'll make it
What about
milkshake.
the winery?
When you go to
Gotta go
North
to North.
Carolina to visit
Go to a
Anthony,
You go
meadery.
to the meadery.
he has that meadery up there. It's the oldest drink in the world, the healthiest drink in the world. I don't know if you see the podcast. I did a whole podcast on it, but it's the healthiest drink in the world. It's made primarily with honey, and then he has all different flavors. And he makes the best. He makes his company does it the best. And then when you come to meet me in the at the Meadowlands, I'm going to try to get you to invest in my movie or TV series. So now you'll be in the horse business, you'll be in the thoroughbred business, the ice cream business, the wine business, and the movie business. And that'll really
And then
drive
you
you.
really need a stipend.
Hey,
Right. Then you'll need
hey,
Bellevue.
Eddie. Hey, Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Yes.
Eddie,
What?
we'll get a thoroughbred. We'll have Anthony send us up some drinks. We could give him the like how they give the horse a jug. We'll give him some of
Yeah,
Anthony's
we give him
drinks.
no. We get Joey to get the milkshake.
Yeah.
The bacon soda shake. Not the.
I'm going to tell you something. If they got to be a limit that you can give a horse baking soda every day. That they got to be a limit where, like, if you give them one scoop a day, will
2
that show
ounces.
up?
Larry, 2
What?
ounces.
2 ounces you can give?
2 ounces. Yeah.
So
I
let me
go
ask
for
you
a
with
little
that
less.
with the baking soda. Let me ask you something. Everybody has a different view on it, but as far as a horse having baking soda, if it helps the horse, what makes it illegal?
It's the greatest pre-race there is. It's natural. What makes it illegal is the procedure to do it. That's what causes problems. Because you get inexperienced people trying to do it,
Yeah.
and it's a delicate path between the going into a lung and going into a stomach. And if you don't know what you're doing, a lot of horses die, unfortunately, from it, and that's what ruins the game.
Oh,
Otherwise,
okay.
that's the best pre-race there is, and it doesn't hurt a horse. As long as you take care of their stomach, there's nothing better. It's not a drug. When you could send a 12-year-old kid in the store to buy a box, there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it.
Wow. All right, so that's a pretty good reason.
Yeah.
That's
Larry, I got to
crazy.
go to bed, man.
Yeah, me too. I'm tired.
Go to bed. You make arrangements to meet Manny someplace. Maybe he'll buy you a horse.
Anthony,
I'm,
Eddie, what I'll do is I'm trying to think right now. Eddie, you know what? On the weekend, are you there on the weekend?
yes, I'm there 7 days a week, except maybe one I go to doctors. But yeah, go ahead.
What time do you get there on a Saturday morning?
Well, I usually get there between 10 after 4 and 4:30. I mean, you don't have to come that early. I mean,
Well, I'm usually
I'm
up
there
early,
till
but
about 11.
You know what I'm going to do, Eddie? I'm going to come by. I'll come by Saturday. I'll come by around 6:30. What barn are you in?
61. Now I think you don't have a license to get in the gate. So
Well, I'll call the guy to call you. Can't
you
they
gotta
call you and give you a guest pass?
well, yeah, what they'll do is they'll call me. Just tell them Eddie DeLauro, barn
Okay. Yeah.
61.
Yeah. I'll come by. Oh, they won't let me come in with the. They won't let me come in with the harness license.
Well, you could, drive up to the gate and just tell them you see me. That's all. That's all. You tell me they won't let you in. It's a pain in
All
the
right. So,
ass.
all right. I'm going to come by Saturday around 6:30. I'll come by. I'll see you around 6:30, and me and you'll shoot the shit, and then I'll get your phone number from there because I don't want you to put your phone number out. I mean,
No, no.
Larry's over there. I mean, Larry's he called that guy out like he was 30 years old. He's going in the garage. He don't care about his phone.
I got a fucking cannon in the garage. That's why I said the garage.
But Eddie, I'll come by and I'll see you Saturday. Okay?
All right, all right. It's a pleasure talking to you. Stay well, keep focused, and go forward, man. That's all.
Definitely, definitely. Because I
Manny,
got to tell you,
how am I going to get your number to get the link?
well,
Because
how could you get my number? You blocked me.
I know. How do I unblock you? I don't even know.
I don't
I
even know
don't.
how you blocked me.
Just
I
call him
don't
on
know
his
how I
cell phone.
block it. If a,
Yeah.
if
He'll call you, Larry, on your cell phone.
how could he call me?
He
He
has me
He'll
blocked him.
blocked.
call you when the show is over.
I
He'll
I
call
have,
you.
but I have him blocked.
Unblock him.
I don't know how to unblock him.
Google it.
Go into setting and go to the phone.
I
Go
blocked
to your
30.
phone.
You know how many
Call
calls I
call
get a day?
call
They want
Eddie and
to.
he'll give it to you.
Who?
Call Eddie and he'll give it to you.
Yeah. When he gives Eddie the numbers, when he sees Eddie Saturday, he'll give him his number, then Eddie will give it to you.
Larry, you know what I'll do? Larry, I got your email address because you emailed me. I'll send
Right.
you. I'll send you my phone number through email,
Oh, that's good. And put your
Yeah.
name down so I know it's you.
and then you got to get
Yeah, and
somebody to
then you
look
could
at your
send
phone.
me.
And
Manny's number, Larry, to mine.
Well, once I get it, I'll send it to you, Eddie.
Yeah. All right, good. And then I'll call him, and then I can meet him.
I finally got
We'll
the
go to
fucking phone.
Ivaroni's. You live near
Averone is two
Manny. You live
blocks
near.
right up the block. What do you want me to
2
bring you
blocks up.
Saturday? You want something?
Bring me some of that nice hot Italian semolina bread.
Oh, they
No,
got
I'm
they
only
got good
kidding.
stuff. Eddie, they got good stuff there,
Yeah,
man.
I go there a lot.
Yeah, it's good. All right, so Larry, I'm
I
going to
go there
send you a
very
message. I'm going to send you a message, Larry, because I'm getting tired of holding my fucking hand out the window right now because it's the only way I can talk to you.
All right. And next time you come on, stay in the house and on your computer.
You got it. I'll talk to you guys later. Eddie, I'll
Good
see you
night.
Saturday.
Good
Goodbye.
night,
All
Manny.
right,
Good
brother.
luck.
Bye, guys.
All right.
All right.
Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.
Jeez, I
All
got a
right,
million.
there, Lawrence of Aramia.
I don't know how to unblock somebody. I block a million calls a day. I don't know how to unblock. So I don't know his number to unblock him. He'll email
Well,
me his name and I'll send it to you.
So
listen,
much, so much, so much
he
for the
just
union
called you.
rules.
Yeah, so much for the union
Larry,
rule.
Larry,
Well,
he just called you. Larry, he just
yeah,
called you, right? A little while ago. That
yeah,
was the
on a
last
private
call you
number.
got.
Yeah, but that's a
Oh,
no.
so
It's a private number,
so
and I answered it, but when it just says private number, that's all it says. the private number, and there's no number.
Hit the three dots.
Hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. You know how many times he
Got to
called me?
say unblock.
He called me about 20 times. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
that
how?
914 number.
While you
Anyway,
guys are figuring that out, I'm gonna go to bed.
all right,
All
go to
right.
bed.
So Thursday it's
Make sure you
Thursday, it's Freddie
Thursday, Freddie Hudson's coming on.
Hudson River show, and
that's it.
and Tuesday we got
Woodbury.
Mr. Woodbury.
Yes.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
All
good.
right. Very good.
And
All right, guys.
Okay.
Joe,
All right.
good night, Joe, Anthony,
Night, Eddie,
Larry.
Joe, Larry.
Eddie,
wait.
take care. Larry, take care.
And that's
Yeah. I'll
Look
talk
what
to you
look
guys.
what I'm
Anthony.
doing.
What's he doing?
Look at that.
what you
See
doing,
that?
Wayne?
Very good.
Wow.
All right, guys.
Oh, like. Hit the
Beautiful.
button, like. Lovely. It's 10:30. I got to get up in 3 hours. You. I get paid overtime.
Yeah, Union will send you the check.
Oh, Freddie Hudson. You got to make a donation to the Eddie Doro Foundation.
Yeah.
Go to sleep, Eddie. I'll send you the number. I'll text you the number when he gives it to me, or I'll email.
All right.
Do I have your email address? Yeah, you'll get it.
All right, buddy.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Take
Joe.
care, everybody.
Summer.
Joe, I'll see you.
Wait for
Good night,
Mr.
Eddie.
Sinatra so I can go.
Good night. I'm signing out.
Nighty night.
All right.
Nighty night.
Say good night to your friend.